Hey G fans, GojiFan93 here, and welcome to the final part of the King Kong-a-thon. In this review we will be discussing Peter Jackson's King Kong, the movie that came out in 2005, which is the latest King Kong movie. It's been a long time since a King Kong movie has come out, and well, we will be getting one soon though with Skull Island, I guess, so we'll just have to see with that. But anyways, also sorry about my hair and everything. I just got back from work. I have had no time to do any videos lately. I've been busy with just other stuff, so you know, sorry that there hasn't been a lot of videos coming out lately, but that's why I've just been so busy. Okay, on to the movie though. Okay, Peter Jackson's King Kong. Now, I'm just gonna say it, this is my all-time favorite King Kong movie, and also this is just one of my all-time favorite monster movies or kaiju movies, because I know King Kong kind of, some people debate on whether he's a kaiju or not, but I kind of consider him one. He's a giant monster in a way, I don't know, but it's one of my favorite movies just in general, just because of the I mean, like, there's so many good things about this movie, but there are some bad things about it as well. But, oh man, where do I start? I mean, first off, the story. Now, the cool thing about Peter Jackson's King Kong is Peter Jackson stayed true to the original. The movie takes place in the 30s. All the original characters that were from the first one are here. So we got Anne, we have Denham, Carl Denham, with, you know, the director guy. We have Jack. We have all those original characters coming back. It's really cool to see them, you know, in a modern way. Well, not really in a modern movie way, but it still takes place in the 30s, and it's really cool the way that's done. I'm really happy Peter Jackson did it that way. Yeah, I mean, the story's the same though. You know, you know, they have the movie that they want to do. They go to the island. The girl gets, you know, taken away. King Kong shows up, saves her, fights dinosaurs. They get her back. Go to the city. King Kong destroys the city. Well, somewhat destroys the city. Then he gets killed by the fighter planes, and then dies, and that's it. So I'm not really going to go into much of the story in it, but first off though, the characters though. Okay, I want to talk about the characters, and this is one thing that I feel a lot, especially after watching now all the King Kong movies. I feel like this movie did the best with fleshing out the characters, and that kind of makes sense because this movie is pretty much a 3-hour movie. So if you watch this movie, sit down, get some popcorn, you're gonna be here for a while, which I'm perfectly fine with because that's just Peter Jackson's style, and I'm alright with it. And in doing so, in getting 3 hours of a movie, you get to really get connected to the characters, and that's one thing I really liked about this movie is you get connected to every single one of the characters, and they're all likable. The actors who play these characters are amazing. Also, one of the best things about this movie is just Jack Black. He, you know, you would think that he wouldn't be able to play a role like this, but he actually plays this role really well, and I really liked his performance in this. I always get a kick out of him. He's also one of my favorite actors, and I don't know, it's just cool to see him in there. But also the actress who played as Anne, I don't know her name, but she did a fantastic job. In my opinion, this is the best version of the character Anne. I feel like she didn't, I mean, yeah, she screamed, she was the damsel in distress, but she also kind of was strong on her own in a way. But the other thing that I really like about this movie is, you know, the side characters, the background characters. You know, the crew that goes to the island that tries to rescue Anne, they actually, they give them character. That's, even the original 1933 film, you didn't get connected to the crew because they all died off so quickly. But in this one, they actually, I mean, yeah, a lot of them do die off at the beginning, but there's a lot of characters that you still kind of get connected to. And when they do end up, well, spoiler alert, when, you know, because we all know the crew, a lot of the crew ends up dying anyways, if you know the King Kong story, you know, it kind of makes it more sad when you see those characters die. So I really do like the characters in this. I think the characters are just phenomenal in this. Let's see, the music scores. Now this is something very interesting that I thought about when I was watching this. You know, it's really weird watching Godzilla 2014 and listening to the soundtrack of that movie because there were so many times watching the King Kong movie that there were a lot of music cues that sounded a lot like the 2014 soundtrack, and obviously, you know, it'd be the 2014 would actually be sounding like King Kong, but because, I don't know, 2014 is more fresh in my mind than it is with King Kong, I kind of have that, like, you know, like, oh, that's interesting, because I've listened to the 2014 soundtrack more than the King Kong soundtrack, so, or the Godzilla 2014 soundtrack. So anyways, But yeah, so, you know, but I do love the music. The music is phenomenal. Also, one thing that I also have to mention, Peter Jackson did an amazing job with the opening. The opening credits sequence is like the exact same, just in like colorized, but it has the same kind of flair that the 1933 film did. I love that. I love the 30s setting anyways. I don't know, it's just kind of a cool era. Yeah, so other than that, there are some downsides to this movie that I want to talk about. Some things are a bit lengthy. There are some parts where it can be a little bit too long. For instance, one scene that I don't really care for in this movie is the dinosaur chase sequence, where a bunch of the long-necked dinosaurs are chasing, or like they're running down this like little valley or whatever, and they're being chased by velociraptors. I think they're velociraptors or V-Rexes or whatever. I don't remember what the King Kong Skull Island dinosaurs are called, but and the crew's also like kind of, they're running in the middle of this, and this is where the CGI did not look good. And first off, I do want to say that the CGI does look good in this movie, although it does look, it seems a bit dated because this is 2005 and what we've seen in modern movies, especially with Godzilla 2014, how CGI has definitely gotten a little bit better. But this scene in particular, I mean, it looks so cartoony and it looks so fake. If you guys know what I'm talking about, hopefully you can understand this, because it's just, I mean, like, the whole scene just doesn't make any sense. I mean, the humans are running faster than the dinosaurs, and it doesn't make any, I don't know, it just, the whole sequence just looks very cartoony, and it kind of takes you out of the moment. There's not a lot of tense action there, because you can totally tell it's fake. It's not, there's not tension in that scene. That's probably one of my least favorite scenes. I feel like that whole sequence could have been cut out completely. I feel like it was kind of pointless. What else? So going on back on the special effects of this movie, the special effects are really good though, especially on King Kong. And I want to talk about King Kong, for instance, in this movie. They really focused on King Kong's character in this. You get to see him go through so many different moods: anger, happiness, sadness, I mean, playfulness, joy. I mean, it's like, it's crazy how they were able to capture King Kong and give him such like humanity in his face. I loved it. And that definitely goes to the computer animators who were animating his face. They did an amazing job with making him look so human-like. I mean, I know he's an ape, which kind of automatically makes him more human-like, but this is, you know, this is something that's CGI, and you still really, you believe that it's there on screen. That's what I love about it. And also the chemistry between King Kong and Anne in this movie is just, I loved it. Like the scenes when he's, you know, playing with her and she's like dancing around trying to like impress, or I don't know, she's trying, I think she was dancing around to make sure she wouldn't die, you know, because she saw that King Kong kind of liked it, and like King Kong starts laughing, and then he starts like, you know, pushing her over, and he keeps on pushing her over so many times, and then she slaps him in the hand and says no, and he's just like, oh, and he goes all being like a big baby and stuff, and I loved that whole scene. And then there's really touching scenes, like when they are on top of the Empire State Building, and, you know, King Kong is holding her, and, you know, they're looking out into the scene, and there's a when they were on the island, Anne was saying like, oh, beautiful, and she was, you know, patting her hand on her chest like that for like sign language of beautiful, and, you know, King Kong learned it. So when they're on top of the Empire State Building after being chased by the military, you know, he looks out and he, you know, he does this, and it's like, oh, he remembers, he learned. So it was really cute. I really like those scenes, very, very touching scenes. So I just love the way they did the King Kong character in this. The other thing, I mean, there's so many good things about this movie that I'm probably forgetting a couple things that while I was watching the movie I probably wanted to remember, but I might be forgetting a couple things, but hey, that's how I do my reviews, because it's fun that way. So, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me with this movie and the King Kong-a-thon. I freaking love King Kong, the Peter Jackson movie. If you have not seen it, do yourself a favor and watch this movie. If you like the original, you're definitely going to like Peter Jackson's King Kong. I don't think I've heard a lot of people that don't like this movie. It's just a really well done movie, and you owe it to yourself to see it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. That's it for the King Kong-a-thon. Thank you guys so much for watching this for the whole month. Well, now we're in May, but, you know, whatever. It's one day off. I kind of wanted to keep it in 1 month, but, you know, I got so busy that it couldn't be. So, but yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I think the next movie reviews I'll probably be doing, like, you know, some of the other Toho movies, Mothra or Rodan or something like that. I don't really know. That's how I just do it. I don't really schedule a lot of things, so that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Stay big, G fans.